This is a drawing of a simulated emergency landing. Before A, you first need to know how much height you will lose for a 360-degree turn with either 20 degrees, 30 degrees or 45 degrees bank, given that you might have to make one or more turns in case you find yourself too high over the field. Establish best glide angle, speed, side picture, and trim for it. Look for and choose where to land. Determine wind direction using windsock, smoke to get wind info. If the field is at least 1000 meters, 3,300 feet long, aim to arrive overhead at the middle of the field, i.e. with half of the landing strip visible on each side. Rapidly troubleshoot the cause of the engine failure and apply restart procedure if possible. If no time to do so or restart is unsuccessful, broadcast Mayday message saying ground position, altitude and intentions. Apply the emergency landing checklist. Use this time to estimate the wind and expected drift and visualization changes during your pattern. At A, you must be at between 2,000 and 3,000 feet above ground level. Make sure you integrate QNH, QFE difference. If higher, make a 360-degree turn. Follow the backward displacement of the runway along the bottom of the canopy until you reach reference point B, then turn downwind, remaining convergent in order to maintain the correct side picture between the runway or field and reference point C on the trailing edge of your aileron or wing strut. If you realize the runway is moving away from reference point C, immediately converge more towards the runway. Reference point D is the moment when, still having the runway at reference C, you reach an angle of 45 degrees between the touchdown point, around 800 feet past threshold into the wind, and the runway axis. Then start to turn towards the runway, aiming for point E. If you realize you are too low, if you have still oil pressure and constant speed prop, set low RPM, while keeping in mind that this will make for a longer flare since the prop will generate less drag. If you realize you are too high, use flaps, air brakes, S technique, or slipping technique to dissipate altitude. If it's an exercise and not a real emergency, make sure you check cylinder temperature during all the exercise in case you need power to reach the field or go around. If it's not an exercise, apply emergency landing final procedure.